Hello, good afternoon. This is David Sutter talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of September 13th through September 17th, okay, 2021. And like always, what I would do here is I would look at all the major Forex currency pairs on a 30-minute time frame, okay? And I'm only doing that just so we can see what happened this past week, okay? And then I will compare that to the higher time frames, the 4-hour, daily, and weekly charts. And then I will try to, give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week based on my experience, okay? So, this past week, it was very sluggish, pretty slow, kind of boring, but not too bad. We had steady movement, I guess. But pretty much the markets were moving like in a sideways fashion, like a range of market, which is fine. And we did see some slight trends start to develop, okay, which is good. And the US dollar is starting to get a little bit more of a heartbeat, okay. This past non-farm payroll or monthly jobs report was not as good as expected, so we cannot expect the US dollar to be regaining that much right now. Plus, the US dollar is still fragile. I've been saying that for quite some time, and we're still waiting for a fourth stimulus check if that happens, okay. So there's a lot of push in Congress right now for that. So hopefully soon that will happen, and it'll push more money back into the U.S. economy. We'll see the U.S. dollar take off, okay? That is one of the big things that we're waiting for, right? So anyhow, looking here at Euro USD, which I have pulled up right now, okay? So we see the Euro USD dropped a little bit this past week, okay? But then pretty much formed a flat range of market, okay? So yes, it dropped a few hundred points, but it's just hovering right there. Now we want this long term to drop more, okay? So usually we'll have a price drop and then have a pullback and then drop more, okay? So this one dropped and now it's riding sideways. But let's zoom out real quick and see what's happened in the bigger picture, the bigger scope of things. So we look at the 4-hour chart real quick, and we see that it is definitely going into a downtrend now, which is good, okay? So, like I said, the price will drop, and then you're going to have a pullback, and then the price will drop more. So, yes, there was kind of a slight pullback, not a huge, which is a good sign because we know that the price is definitely going to be going down, okay? So, over the next few weeks, we want to be looking to sell, okay? You could technically place a sell trade and just hold it, but the problem is you're going to have a lot of swap fees along the way. Now let's look at that daily chart real quick. Daily chart shows to go up, okay? Now, like I've said before, it is very possible to have a blue arrow followed by a lower blue arrow. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see that, okay? Here, this is one I showed you before. Okay, I know I like to repeat myself a little bit here, but we see the blue arrow here followed by a lower blue arrow, so it's very, very possible, okay? And I have a funny feeling that might happen because if we look here on the weekly chart, the weekly chart shows to be going down, okay? So this is like more of the long-term trend. What's going to happen over the next 6 months, okay? Over the next 6 months, maybe even the next year, I don't know. We're going to see this steadily drop, okay? And it's already been going on, for the last since this came in back in January. So it might take a full year before we see another blue arrow form. If you look at this red arrow here, this was back in 2017, beginning of 2018, and the next blue arrow formed back in the beginning of 2020. So a matter of 2 years. So I would expect at least another 6 months before we see another blue arrow form, wherever that's going to be. But we do see a blue arrow here, and a slightly higher blue arrow here. But the next blue arrow it might be a little bit higher than this one, which is fine. But, we're definitely looking for this to be dropping, okay, long term. So we want to be selling. So what do we do this week? Okay, like I said, the price is going to be dropping. We look back on the 30-minute chart. Like I said, the price dropped. It's going sideways, and it's probably going to drop some more. We look at the 1 hour, shows to go up. The 4 hour shows to go down. So I think, even though the 1 hour shows to go up, it's not going up that much. But in the beginning of this week, we should see the price slowly go up some more. And then by the middle of the week on Wednesday or so, we will see the price begin to drop back down. Okay. Now, how high will the price go up? It's not going to go up that high. Okay. We have a high point right here already, which is a pretty strong resistance and support level already. You see here, it hit resistance here, here, and kind of here. Okay. So zoom in a little bit so you can see this a little clearer. What we're looking for is the price to shoot up to that level. Okay, 30 minutes shows to sell right now, but 1 hour shows to buy. Okay, and the 4 hour shows to sell. So all in all, the price is going to be pretty much in a flat range of market, and I don't see any reason why you cannot buy and sell both using a 30-minute time frame. Now, excuse me, I got mucus there. Anyhow, we see right now on 30-minute chart, it shows to sell. Okay, like I always tell you, do not place any trades on Monday until at least the London session. Okay, just so we give time for the market to wake up from its weekend slumber. Okay, so I'm thinking the prices probably will drop a little bit come Monday morning and then start to work its way back up. Okay, so I would wait until you get a buy signal, okay, get a blue arrow, and then place your trade, and then wait until you get the next red arrow to close your trade and repeat that process. Okay, you see here it's running in a sideways fashion right here. This is called a flat range of market, and we're going to see a continuation of that. Okay, now we will see the price start to, come back down. So I don't know exactly if it's going to break any support here. I don't think it's going to happen this week. It probably won't happen until more towards the end of the month. Okay, we're pushing the middle of the month now, but probably in the next 2 weeks we're going to see the price start to migrate further down south. Okay, but for right now, I think the price is going to run in a sideways fashion right in here, and you should be perfectly fine to both buy and sell using a 30-minute time frame. And moving on to GBP USD. Okay, we see here again pretty much in a flat range market. This one did spike up a little bit more than the Euro USD, which is fine, but the price, the price ended almost exactly where it began. And this type of pattern is excellent for trading using a 30-minute time frame. And just you place a trade on one arrow and close it on the opposite. Okay, very, very simple way to trade. And you see we have some fairly decent movement. Okay, we don't have a lot of huge candles. When you see big candles, that's when you have a lot of movement. Okay, so we have some pretty decent sized candles in here, but then we have a lot of really small candles, which is, like I said earlier, it's kind of dull to be trading Forex. But again, Forex is not designed to make you a millionaire overnight. It's a long-term strategy, a long-term process. It's just something you have to be patient with. Okay, but if you can place a trade here and close it after a couple of days, that's perfectly fine, right? And you can get a few hundred pips or points in the process. Okay, so that's not too bad. And now if we look at the 4-hour chart, 4-hour chart shows to sell, right? And if I mark this resistance right here, just so you can see it, we're already at a strong level of resistance, and it should be dropping now. Okay, if you look at the daily chart, it shows to go up. Okay, and like I've said before, it is very possible that we could have a blue arrow followed by a lower blue arrow. Okay, we don't know. Okay, it's very possible. If we look in the past, I'm sure we can see that it's happened before. We've had red arrows followed by higher, and here we got blue arrows followed by lower blue arrows. So yes, it is very possible. We just don't know the future. Okay, all we know is right now is kind of moving in a sideways fashion. If we look at the weekly chart, however, it shows to sell, and this is probably the most important time frame as far as determining which way the price is going to be headed, okay? Because we want to look at the long-term aspect. So the price of this is going to be dropping over the next 6 months, okay? Maybe even the next year, okay? It's going to take a long time for this to drop. I would probably say that at least the next year, okay? So definitely be thinking about selling this now, because we're going into a downtrend. It's just going to be a long process, okay? And this Great British Pound is a very strong currency. Now, if you look at some other time frames, the 1 hour shows the sell. So yes, we are at a pretty strong level of resistance right now. So if you keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, you should be safe to both buy and sell this week using a 30-minute time frame. Right now looks like a pretty good time to sell. Again, like, I would wait until at least the London session on Monday, just see what the market does, so you can get a little more idea, a little more data, so you can see how how the market's doing. That's totally up to you. If you want to place a trade right now, you can. But thing is, go ahead and place your sell trade and close when you get the next blue arrow, and then place another trade, another buy trade on the next blue arrow, okay? And just repeat that process. So very, very simple strategy. That's why I like using a 30-minute time frame like this. But you need to also look at the bigger time frames, okay? To see which way the price is headed long term. If the price is getting ready to drop, like if the daily shows the sell, weekly shows the sell like that, I would probably focus on selling only, okay? But right now, the way the market's going, you got a lot of good buy and sell opportunities here, okay? If you zoom out on a 30-minute time frame, you do see a lot of good buy and sell opportunities. Right here, you're in an uptrend, so yes, you got more opportunities, better opportunities with buy signals, but you still make money on the sell. So right now, you can. And since we hit, this is what is called a double top, when you hit the same resistance twice and it starts to drop. So that's a very, very strong resistance, and it should be dropping now, okay? So I know the daily shows the buy, but the 4 hour shows the sell, so I feel very strongly that this will be going down. If you want to focus on selling only using a 30-minute time frame, that's fine as well. But do keep in mind that there are good opportunities both directions. Moving on to AUD USD, okay? Now this is the Australian dollar versus US dollar, and we see the price did in fact drop, and the Australian dollar is a strong currency, but it is not regaining strength, okay, for whatever reason. The US dollar is kind of teeter-tottering right now, so US dollar is fighting back, but it's not that strong either. So right now it's kind of like which one of these two is the strongest, and I would probably say the US dollar is the strongest right now, because the Australian dollar is definitely dropping and it's not going back up. Now if we look at the 4 hour chart, we see that it's got a strong signal to sell, so we can guesstimate or estimate or just pretend that the price is going to drop a lot more in the coming weeks, okay? Which it should, okay? There's no guarantee, of course, but if we look at the daily chart, this is the problem, okay? And just like we saw with the last two currency pairs, this one has a buy signal and it is supposed to be going up, okay? We don't know if it's going to keep going up or if it's going to drop. I wish I knew the exact answer, but if we zoom out on the daily chart, there is always a chance you could have a blue arrow followed by a lower blue arrow, okay? It's happened before. I don't see it right here, but maybe we can zoom out. Anyhow, well, I don't want to go too far back, but it's definitely you got a lot of red arrows repeating each other. Red arrow followed by a higher red arrow. So yes, it is always possible to have one arrow followed by another of the same color, okay? So will it happen? I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Based on what you're seeing right here, it should form another red arrow, should go up. But for right now, I think it's going to be dropping. Okay. If you look at the weekly chart, look at this. Weekly chart shows to drop. And zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. Okay. The weekly chart shows to be dropping. Okay. And like I said before, this is the most important time frame when determining which way the price is going to be headed. Okay. Because this shows you a big picture. Okay. Now the price, if you go by this weekly chart, the price is going to be headed down over the next 6 months to 1 year. Okay, it's already been going down since the beginning of this year. So we're already into September now. So we've already gone past the halfway point. So it's going to continue to drop for the remainder of this year. Now, will it be going up for the next, I don't know, the next few weeks? Possible. But the 4 hour shows to sell. And again, we could have a red arrow followed by a higher red arrow. Right? So we had a big gain here and then a pullback and then possibly another gain. I don't know. If we zoom out here, we have a blue arrow followed by a higher blue arrow followed by higher, which is interesting. That's not a big deal. Oh, here, this is what we looked at before. I have a red arrow here followed by a higher red arrow. Okay, that's, wow, that's not good. So yes, it could definitely happen again. So are we going to an uptrend right now? I don't think so. Okay, because like I said, the weekly chart shows to sell. So I don't think that we're going to have that much of a gain. Yes, it probably will go up some more because the 1 hour shows to buy. We had a big gain here, but what we can possibly predict, okay, we have a strong resistance right there on the 4 hour chart. Now if we go back to the daily chart, look at this. We already hit that point and did not form a red arrow, okay, on the daily chart. But if it hits it again, there's a very, very strong chance that it will form a red arrow, okay, and then drop. Now we could, if it breaks this resistance and goes higher, it would go to this point right here. Okay, so we have a support, resistance, and that, in my opinion, this would probably be the target for this red arrow to form on the daily chart. And if I zoom in a little bit, we could put a sell limit pending order right in here, okay, and with like 500 to 1,000 point take profit, okay, and catch that when it drops. Okay, that might take another week or two, I don't know, because the market has been really sluggish, really slow, but that's fine. You can just be patient, right? So you put a sell limit here and just let it sit, okay, and you can check on it every so often, but just let it sit and you'll be perfectly fine. You can, for this week trading, if you look at the 30-minute time frame, it shows a sell right now, but I have a feeling it's going to be going back up here very quickly. You look at the 1 hour chart, it shows to buy. So yeah, I would not sell right now on the 30-minute time frame. I would wait until you get a buy signal and then place a buy trade. Now you can both buy and sell, but right now the price should be going up for most of this week, slowly but slowly but surely, right? And it's probably going to go back up to this red arrow here. I don't know, but I would probably focus on buying only. I'm going to say buy only, okay, for this particular currency pair. All right, just because I feel like this is going to be going up. Okay, for the most of this week. We had a big gain here, and then a pullback, and then another gain. Okay, that's typically how it works in the Forex market. Not always, depending if you're in a if you're in a solid downtrend or a solid uptrend. Right now, I think we're in a fairly solid uptrend. Okay, until we get to a hard resistance. Okay, like I showed you here with this green line or this red arrow here. I don't know, but for this week, we should be going up. Okay. And now moving on to US dollar versus Swiss franc. Okay, USD CHF. This one here again, we know the US dollar wants to go up long term, and the price ended slightly higher than where it began, and overall it's kind of in a flat range of market. But if you notice here, we have a red arrow followed by a higher red arrow, right? And then we have a blue arrow followed by a slightly higher blue arrow. Okay, so yes, the price is kind of moving in a sideways range of market, but it also has a slight uptrend. Okay, which is a good sign. Okay, it's a good sign that this is going to be going up. It's just, it's going to take some time. Now if we look here on the 4-hour chart, let's see here, the 4-hour chart shows to sell. And also you see here that it's been riding in a sideways fashion. The daily chart shows to sell, and the weekly chart shows to buy. So we know long term is going to go up, but the US dollar has been kind of crazy, and it's weak. Okay, it's definitely weak, but it is definitely fighting back at the same time. Look here on the daily chart, it shows to drop. And it's just riding sideways. So the 4-hour shows to sell, 30-minute shows to buy, 1 hour. Yeah, so it's hard to say exactly what's going to happen this week. I feel we're going to see a continuation. Okay, we're going to see a continuation of pretty much what we saw last week. Okay, and you're going to see more of a flat range of market, probably with a slight uptrend. Okay, we have a blue arrow followed by a higher blue arrow followed by a higher, and hopefully this will go up even more. Okay, I don't know, we have a strong resistance here that I can mark, and it's kind of strange because like the daily and the 4-hour show to sell, even the 1-hour show to sell, right? But 30-minute shows to buy right now. So hopefully this will go back up. And the beginning of the week, probably Monday and Tuesday, this will go back up. I feel that this will be going up some in the beginning of the week, and then around the middle of the week we should see the price dip back down. Okay, now with this being the US dollar, okay, please try to wait till the New York session before you place any trades, just to see what's going on here with the US dollar. Yeah, I know the 4-hour and daily show to sell, but US dollar, even if you put on the 1-hour chart, okay, we have a lot of good buy and sell opportunities both, right? Now here you buy and then it dropped like, oh crap, but eventually it came back up. Okay, you would have a lot of drawdown, but eventually it did come back up because the US dollar is going up long term. Okay, so you should be perfectly fine to both buy and sell using a 30-minute time frame, because we're probably going to see more of a range of market, and I think we're going to start seeing a downtrend form with this US dollar, okay, over the next couple weeks. But for right now, like I said, beginning of the week it's going to go up, and then the price is going to drop back down. Potentially, most likely, it's going to, the price will end lower than where it is right now. Okay, no guarantees, but I feel pretty strongly that will happen. Okay, and I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are about the US dollar. Okay, but is definitely running in a sideways fashion, and you should be perfectly fine to both buy and sell using a 30-minute time frame. Okay, just give it some time on Monday morning and before you place your trade, and then close the trade when you get the next red arrow, and then place another sell trade, and you should be perfectly fine. Okay, moving on to US dollar versus Japanese yen. Again, here is more of a flat range of market. Price right now shows to buy, 4 hours shows to sell, 30 daily chart shows to sell, weekly chart shows to buy, and of course that's been shown for a long time, but it is definitely working its way up, right? And the daily shows to sell, but it's not really going down so much. Okay, the 4 hour shows to sell. What I'm thinking is we have a support here that would probably be the target where this price will drop. Okay, I don't know. And daily shows to sell. I've already showed this before in the previous videos, but the price drops down to here. I mean, if it breaks this support, it'll drop down to here. Okay, if it drops down to here, that's most likely where you're going to see a blue arrow form on the daily chart. Okay, and that's just going to take some time. Okay, that's going to take quite a while probably for that to happen. We don't know, but the thing is, right now for this week, we will probably see the price drop down more. Okay, and like it's right now, the 30-minute shows to buy, 1 hour shows to buy, so we can expect the price to go up in the beginning of the week. Okay, expect the price to go, you know, a little bit higher than where it is now, not significant higher, significantly higher, but we have a resistance right here. I'm trying to think if that's going to be it. A resistance here, so probably that's where it's going to form a red arrow. Okay, on a 30-minute time frame, and then we can expect the price to dip back down. So, in the beginning of the week, the price will go up a little bit more, and then probably around Tuesday going to Wednesday, this price will dip back down. And I feel very strongly that it will definitely end lower than where it began. So yeah, the 1 hour shows to buy and the 4 hour shows to sell, so we can expect the price to swing back up and then drop down more. Okay, hopefully by the end of the week it'll drop all the way down to this level here, and I'll mark this one as well, so you can see like the different levels of the elevator. Okay, Forex is nothing but an elevator going up and down, okay, all day long. So yes, watch for the price to go up in the beginning of the week, and then probably Tuesday going to Wednesday for the remainder of the week is going to drop back down. All right, so keep your charts on the 30-minute time frame like you normally always recommend, and wait till you get a red arrow. Okay, you can look at the 1 hour chart as well for additional confirmation. Get a red arrow and then place your sell trade. Okay, you could buy right now, but I probably would not buy right now. Yes, you can both buy and sell, but I would wait until you get a sell signal and then place your trade, and then when you get the next buy signal, then you can buy again. Okay, but just be patient right now and just wait till you get another red arrow and place your trade. Okay, so keep your charts on a 30-minute time frame, and you should be safe to both buy and sell this week. Okay, now moving on to the last one, US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. We see here that the price is starting to go back up, which is good, right? So the price, you know, is kind of in a sideways fashion, kind of in a range of market, but this blue arrow is followed by a higher blue arrow. A red arrow here is preceded by a lower red arrow. So yeah, it is starting to go into an uptrend. If we look at the 4 hour chart, it shows to go up. Okay, daily chart shows to go down. Weekly chart shows to go up. All right, now The weekly chart is always stronger than the daily, so we know long term it's going to go up. Okay, the daily shows to go down right now, and then, like I've always said, there's always that chance you could have a red arrow followed by a higher red arrow. Okay, we don't know what's going to happen in the Forex world. We have a blue arrow followed by a lower, red arrow followed by a higher here in this instance. So yes, we could have a red arrow followed by a higher red arrow. Okay, but we do know that the weekly chart is showing to go up. Okay, so that's what we got to be thinking in the back of our minds, that hey, this US dollar is going to be going up for sure. Okay, it's just going to be a slow process. If you look here on the 4-hour chart, you can see that it's definitely going up, right? So the 1 hour shows the sell, 30 minutes shows the buy. So it might drop a little bit more in the beginning of the week, but I feel that this will be going up for most of this coming week. Okay, so what should we do? Okay, if you want to be safe, you could buy only, but you know, looking at what's happened in the past year, we had a lot of good buy and sell opportunities both, so I don't see any reason why you cannot both buy and sell. Okay, just wait until at least the New York session on Monday just to see what the US dollar is doing. Okay, so anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I know I bored you enough, I know I talked enough, but if you have any questions at all about these predictions, or if you want me to analyze another currency pair, please feel free to hit me up on Facebook. I'll put a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Please contact me there first. Also, I put a link for my private Facebook group. Okay, and you can request to join my Facebook group and post any questions or comments in my Facebook group, and this way myself or other traders, we can assist you and we can all collaborate as a team. Okay, but please do reach out to me first on Facebook, and so we can discuss this and I can help you with your trading as well. Okay, so with that said, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Thank you and have a good day.